This special session of the Grant County Commissioners. I will call this meeting to order. Tonight, the prayer will be led by Mr. Chad Kirkpatrick and the Pledge of Allegiance by Mr. Dow Street. If you would stand.
Bow your heads, please. Dear Lord, we just thank you so much for this day. We thank you just to be able to be here. Just pray that you would help us to make good decisions tonight for the county and those that live in it, Lord. Lord, we just thank you for all you do. Just pray you be with us tonight and give us guidance and direction. It's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. So please place the flag and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll go ahead and get started this evening. We have 3 items on the agenda that require a public hearing. So we'll start with item number 1 under new business, Cumulative Capital Development Fund. And tonight we do have Maxwell Adams with Barnes and Thornburg to discuss the changes that the commissioners wish to seek regarding the CCD fund. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Chair, Board Commissioners. My name is Max Adams with law firm of Barnes and Thornburg, serving as bond counsel for the jail project, county jail project. I understand there's been conversations about, the direction of the jail project, still trying to figure out, how it's being funded, what the project actually looks like. I'm here tonight to sort of get in place one funding mechanism. That's the Cumulative Capital Development Fund. That is a property tax backed fund, and I apologize if this is a review for folks, but that does have a May 31st deadline in order to enact that tax rate for next year. So that's why I try to get in before the end of the month here. We have a public hearing that we need to do tonight, and I understand there is at maybe the last meeting or the meeting before that the commissioners adopted the ordinance that we're considering tonight. I apologize for that confusion. The public hearing actually has to take place first, and then consideration of the ordinance and adoption. I think the last meeting would probably count as an introduction, but just to be safe, if it's okay with the board of commissioners and the commissioner's attorney, to hold a vote to consider the adoption of the ordinance at a single meeting, and then after that, actually adopt the ordinance. So in terms of order of events, I say public hearing, then a motion to consider the ordinance at a single meeting, and then actual consideration of the ordinance itself. In terms of the actual ordinance itself, the ordinance establishes a CCD fund property tax rate of 0.0333 on each $100 assessed valuation. That is an increase from what it currently is of 0.0175. Again, this right now it's 0.0175. This just allows the county the ability to adopt that new tax rate. It goes up to that 0.0333 amount. It can be lower. It can be what it currently is right now, but it just gives the county that flexibility depending on how it wants to. How it ultimately decides it wants to fund this jail project. So with that, happy to take any questions, but otherwise, public hearing would be.
Hey, Maxwell, this is Connor. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
The council still has to actually enact the levy, correct? The commissioners are essentially just providing a tool in the toolbox. Is that correct, Maxwell?
That's correct, Connor, and good to hear from you. So yes, under state statute, the board of commissioners are responsible for adopting the rate, adopting the fund itself, and then it's up to the council to actually levy the rate. So like I said earlier, you can levy up to that 0.0333 amount. You can keep where it is now. This just gives the county the ability to take those steps.
Obviously, I just want to make the comment for the record that this is not specific for the jail. It could be for any project that could be paid for out of CCD.
Yes, that is correct.
At this time, I guess we'd like Should we have that ordinance read as per before us and then open it up for the public hearing?
Ordinance or actually, what number are we on? Two dash 2025. Whereas Indiana Code 36-9-14.5 authorizes the Board of Commissioners of Grant County, Indiana, as the legislative body of Grant County, Indiana, to establish the Cumulative Capital Development Fund to provide money for any purposes for which property taxes may be imposed within the county under the Act, including but not limited to the construction, repair, remodeling, enlarging, and equipping of a new county jail and existing county jail facilities, including for the payment of a debt, a lease, or other obligation for such purposes. And whereas the county has previously established a CCD fund with a maximum property tax rate of 1,000, let's see, I'm trying to think how to say that. 0.0175 on each $100 of assessed valuation to provide money for all purposes for which property taxes may be imposed within the county under the Act. And whereas the board now desires to reestablish the CCD fund, beginning with taxes payable and due in the year 2026 for all uses set forth in the Act. Now therefore, be it ordained by the Board of Commissioners of Grant County, Indiana as follows. 1, the board hereby finds and determines that a need now exists for the reestablishment of the CCD fund for all uses as set out in the Act, including but not limited to the construction, repair, remodeling, enlarging, and equipping of a new county jail and the county's existing jail facilities. 2, the board will adhere to the provisions of the Act. The proposed fund will not exceed 0.0333 on each $100 of assessed valuation for taxes payable in 2026 and thereafter, continuing until reduced or rescinded. 3, a certified copy of this ordinance shall be submitted to the Department of Local Government Finance of the State of Indiana as provided by law. The tax rate for the CCD fund is subject to certification by the Department of Local Government Finance, duly adopted by the Board of Commissioners of Grant County, Indiana, this 28th day of May, 2025.
Thank you. At this time, we'll open the floor for public comment. This will be the public hearing portion regarding the cumulative capital development ordinance number 2. If you wish to speak, please approach the podium, clearly state your name and address for the record. Each speaker will have 2 minutes to share their comments. Please note that unused time may not be transferred to another speaker. This is an opportunity for the members of the public to express their thoughts to the board. Please don't expect the commissioners to respond to questions or engage in a discussion during this time. We are here to listen. And
I have a quick question. There's no sign-up sheet. My name's Jerry Schultz. I live in Grant County and lived here all my life. I still have a problem with these hearing aids. I still have a problem hearing what is being said. And I know some of the other people couldn't hear this stuff. Is there a copy of this ordinance that we can look at? Or is it public to where we can look at it to see what it actually says instead of, I couldn't understand a lot of stuff that Mr. Harker said, no reflection on him, and even some of the other comments that are made. We've got an expensive system in here. If we can't hear, we can't hear. So I have no comment on the ordinance because I don't really know exactly what it's all about. So, thank you. There's no sign-up sheet here either.
No.
Okay.
thank you.
Michael Duke, Grant County, Indiana, on East Bradford Pike. Good evening, Commissioners. I've got a few comments that I would like to make, and I'll try to be within the constraints of the time limit, so forgive me, I'll get through it as quickly as I can. I'm concerned about future tax levies, tax rates in generality. And I'm concerned about the spending levels of the Grant County governance, the departments of the Grant County government organization. With looking back and what my recall is of past comments in the last 18 to 24 months about this new jail project and the considerations for having to be given to it, and I'll first say is that I've lived in counties, communities where a federal judge came in and beat the gavel and said, you got no home rule, you got no say-so. We're going to fix the overcrowding problem the way I want it done. And laid on a cost that the community had no control over. I don't want that for Grant County at all. I'm not here speaking in opposition to the potential funding sources that are being discussed and will be considered perhaps that haven't been discussed. But nevertheless, I am concerned about the frugality and the conservativeness that leaders of the commissioners and of the council will be exercising as they establish tax rates for the funding. I've heard all the good things that the good attorneys have said about, well, you're not increasing tax rates per se tonight. You're not considering that. You're just giving the council the tool to it. But nevertheless, there are two cogs in the same machine of the process. If you do not,
Time's up, sir.
I understand. May I have forbearance just to say?
We gotta hold it within the time limits this evening, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, this is the public hearing portion regarding the CCD fund. If you would, state your name and address for the.
Hi, I'm Andy Ellis. I'm from Fairmount, Indiana. Hadn't planned on speaking on this. However, I mean, I'll just cut to the chase. Sounds like that you're putting in a provision to raise our taxes in order to support potentially a project that the community doesn't support. So I would suggest that we wouldn't put in a provision to raise our taxes for a project that the community doesn't support. So I mean, I'm trying to be very plain spoken here. If you put in a provision to spend money, I mean, you got more checks in your checkbook, so therefore you go ahead and spend it. So I would suggest that we back off from this, and when the need becomes needed, then we consider that as a community. But right now, I would suggest that we don't raise taxes or put in a provision to raise taxes where in the future, people won't be able to speak about it. It'll just kind of happen. So that's my thoughts, and thanks for the time.
My name is Bill Creech. I'm from Marion. And the only thing I had a question about was it seems like from the State Department, we're trying to do away with trying to raise property taxes. But yet we're proposing property tax possible increase now. And I think maybe you have to have a new jail, whatever. But I think the consideration, I don't know the legality of it, but to consider a sales tax as opposed to a property tax, because a property tax only encompasses a certain amount of people. A sales tax is across the board. Everybody contributes, whether you're in the county, out of the county, every purchase made. I just think that you ought to look at it so that everybody contributes to that and not just a property tax thing. And a lot of the states have went away from property taxes. A lot of the cities, counties, and instituted a sales tax model. Something I just think you might want to consider.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment regarding the CCD fund. Again, this is the public hearing portion. Not hearing any other. So we need a motion to, at this time, the public hearing will be closed. We'll move on and open the floor to the commissioners.
Motion.
A motion to approve ordinance number 2, suspending the rules to pass it on the first reading. We need a motion to suspend the rules first, and then a motion to approve the ordinance number 2.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second. I have a motion from Commissioner Poling, a second from Commissioner Stewart to suspend the rules and to allow this to pass potentially on the first reading. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And I'm ready for a motion to approve ordinance number 2-2025.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Poling, a second from Commissioner Stewart to approve ordinance number 2-2025, ordinance of Grant County, Indiana, reestablishing a cumulative capital development fund under Indiana Code 36-9-14.5 to fund the construction of a new jail facility and improvements to existing jail facility. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you for being here. We'll move on to the next item under new business. Item number 2, the solar ordinance public hearing. Mr. Sullivan, are you?
Yes, Mr. President, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. And Maxwell, thank you for your time tonight. We appreciate Barnes' assistance. For the solar ordinance, Mr. President, on March 3rd, the Grant County APC adopted a recommendation that was sent to the Board of Commissioners concerning solar use and solar permitted uses within Grant. Since then, we have reviewed the solar ordinance and the permitted uses. And as stated at your most previous Board of Commissioners meeting, the Board of Commissioners for Grant County are affirming the solar ordinance as was recommended to the Board of Commissioners from the APC. I'm not sure if Mr. Randy Atkins is here tonight, that if you want to touch specifics for it. Otherwise, Mr. President, other than the Board of Commissioners affirming the recommendation as was sent over from the March 3rd public hearing from the Grant County APC, I would request that you conduct the public hearing to go through that process, and then eventually, ultimately, sending this affirmation to the Grant County APC so they can finalize and adopt the ordinance as was presented on March 3rd and will be affirmed tonight. With that, any questions, comments, or concerns, President or the rest of the commissioners?
Do we have an ordinance number? 3? And before we open it up to the public hearing, should we go ahead and read the ordinance number 3?
It should be number 5.
Number 5?
You're right.
Sorry. Number 5?
Read all this.
Or we just read the cover page?
Cover page?
Yes.
Sure. Ordinance 5-2025. Whereas the Grant County Board of Commissioners has adopted pursuant to IC 36-7-4-602, a zoning ordinance which specifies the intent, permitted uses, special uses, development standards, and other information concerning various land use districts in Grant County. And whereas on July 5th, 2022, the Commissioners adopted ordinance 2022-7, which established solar energy standards in Grant County. And whereas since the adoption of ordinance 2022-7, Grant County has been presented with substantial information concerning the implementation of solar energy systems in the county. The wealth of information has been garnered through solar energy-related public hearings conducted by the Area Plan Commission and Board of Zoning Appeals. And whereas, based on the information received, the Area Plan Commission deemed it necessary to recommend to the Commissioners to update Grant County's solar energy standards by repealing Ordinance 2022-7 and adopting an ordinance which incorporates the above-mentioned information, which promotes and encourages the use of solar energy systems, while also preserving and protecting the health, safety, and welfare of Grant County citizens. And whereas the Commissioners do hereby find that based on the above described information, that the provisions of this ordinance contain reasonable restrictions on solar use, which restrictions do not significantly increase the cost of solar energy systems or significantly decrease their efficiency, or in the alternative, the restrictions enumerated herein allow for an alternative system of comparable cost and efficiency. And whereas the Area Planning Commission on March 3rd, 2025, conducted a duly noticed public hearing to receive public input on this ordinance, which resulted in the Area Plan Commission issuing a favorable recommendation to the Board of Commissioners. Now, therefore, be it ordained by the Grant County Board of Commissioners that ordinance 2022-7 is hereby repealed in its entirety, and the following is hereby established as Grant County Solar Energy Standards.
Thank you.
Be it further ordained that in addition to the repeal of the ordinance 2022-7, all portions of other ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed.
Thank you. At this time, we'll go ahead and open the public hearing portion regarding the solar ordinance. If you wish to speak, please approach the podium, clearly state your name and address for the record. Each speaker will have 2 minutes to share their comments. Please note that any unused time may not be transferred to another speaker. This is an opportunity for the members of the public to express their thoughts to the board. Please don't expect the commissioners to respond to questions or engage in discussion during this time. We are here to listen. And I've asked Mr. Sadoff this evening to keep track of time. So if you see his hand go up, that'll be the 2 minutes. So if you would, at this time, the podium's open.
Good evening, Commissioners, Ms. Jarvis, Mr. Sadoff, Mr. Harker, thank you for your time. I do not see Kelly Pope here. I'd say hello to her as well from GNX Sunfish. That was a fun fight. She's not here. She loses. To the Commissioners polling in Middlesworth, I want to say thank you. Thank you for following through on the promise you made on your campaign trail in helping the citizens of Grant County stop solar. Thank you very much. To the area plan members, Mr. Atkins, members of the solar committee, and all the members of our solar group, I want to say a massive thank you for your steadfast efforts in stopping what could have been a detriment to the farms of this county. I am forever appreciative of all the work that you guys put in. But our work is not over. It is imperative that we, as a group, because of the progress we made, remain vigilant in the actions of our government at all local levels to ensure that they are conducting themselves the way the founders intended, of the people and for the people. All of them, regardless of their status. What a great, great victory for the citizens of this county. I look forward to working with the three of you in the future. Thank you.
Joe Brindle. I'll make this really quick.
What's your address before you get started?
Oh, it's a Wheeling Pike address. You know where I live. Make this really quick. This is the reason you guys are here. And this is the reason why a lot of us fought as hard as we did to get you guys in here to vote, hopefully, how we wanted to, pass this ordinance. Really, I don't know. I'm at a loss of words because I wasn't prepared for anything, but hopefully you guys vote to pass this ordinance tonight. We can finally get this thing defeated. It was a lot of fun beating the other guys, and even though we like you, we're still going to be watching.
Andy Ellis again from Fairmount. And like Kel, I'm not prepared. I knew we had a special session. This is something that's important to the community. And a lot of us have spoken out. So we're asking you to follow through. What is in the ordinance that's been presented reflects the desires of the community. And it's important for us to maintain our community, because nobody really cares about our community except for us. And you're there to help us to try to maintain what Grant County is and what it could be. And to have, let's face it, they're not investors, they're developers. They're people that are coming in here that are trying to use somebody else's money in order to exploit us. And it's important for us to not let them do that. It's been a long journey. It's been close to 4 years that a lot of us have been watching over our shoulders, over our backs, wondering whether or not this is going to, and it looked pretty bleak at times. So now is an opportunity to grasp it. I think the main thing that I would leave is, yes, please pass the ordinance that's in front of you. The other piece is we do have to remain vigilant, because they're not going to just go away. They're going to try to continue to take advantage of people that they don't think will notice what's going on in their backyard. So please stand up for us today and in the future, because I don't think the fight is over. Our community is special. We know it's special, and we're willing to protect it. And we're asking you to do the same thing today and moving forward. So thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you.
Again, Michael Duke. Ditto to what has already been said related to the public comments made here on the solar ordinance. And I would thank you, gentlemen, for keeping your eye on the ball and moving forward with the commitments that were made during the political campaigns last year. I would encourage you strongly that the efforts of the grassroots movement of the citizens of the county that have supported the development of this solar ordinance be recognized and affirmed tonight. Thank you.
Hello, Commissioners, residents of Grant County. My name is Dan Straka. I'm Field Manager for the Land and Liberty Coalition. I reside in Lake County, Indiana, 1845 Azalea Drive, Munster, Indiana. Yes, I'm here from 3 hours away to talk about solar energy in a county that I've been to just a few times in my life. But I'm here on behalf of landowners and private landowners who wish to use their land the way that they choose. Grant County, you're a lot like a lot of other counties in the state. We could travel all around the state looking at ordinances like this and fighting for the private property rights of landowners. And with excessive setbacks and an acreage cap that is set there to kill all development, it's no surprise that we are here where we are now. On my way here, I was listening to one of my favorite podcasters. Maybe some of you have heard of him, Ben Shapiro. And every time I go to a public hearing like this, I turn them on, kind of get me pumped up, think about my conservative roots, and think about a story that I heard on this podcast a while ago. It was about this family with a mango tree in communist Cuba. And that family had that mango tree for years sitting out of their house. But the government would not allow that family to use that mango tree for food, for money, to support their family. And this ordinance here that Grant County has is doing that same thing. And that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ed Hartman, Fairmount, Indiana, 2640 East, 1050 South. I believe I know all of you, and I know most everyone out here, I think, too. And it's because of the people of this county that we went down this trail of trying to make something that protected their health, their safety, their welfare, and their property value. And I think we have done that. And the standards that we developed, I think, really should be common sense for the entire state. That a lot of counties ought to look at that ordinance and say, this is really what we need to protect our people. And also, we have zoning here. And industrial solar is not agriculture. It has no business taking over farmland. It belongs in a zone for itself. And that's what we set up in this ordinance. We don't feel that we're making it impossible, but we are making a practical look at what might be done if they want to follow the rules. It's not impossible. They may look at the setback and say 500 feet from a residence on one side and 750 feet from a residence on another side. That is excessive. However, they don't look at the fact that they don't have to lease the setback. That could still be farmed, or it could be another use if it's not in an ag area. But it is not making it impossible. It is making it practical. It is making it safe. And if we had it to do over, I would push further and harder that we do not use Chinese solar panels. 2 articles I read recently said that they're putting kill switches in solar panels. Our government is finding this.
Thank you. Your time's expired.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Dennis Carter, Wheeling Pike, Fairmount, Indiana. And this is not a mango tree. This is farm ground. And these people can still farm that ground. These landowners. In fact, the solar that they're proposing in our area is only going to affect about 4 or 5, and 2 or 3 of them don't even live in Grant County. They live in Delaware County. But they bought ground in Grant County. They don't intend to have it around their house. So this ordinance has been worked on for a long time. I'm tired of coming to meetings and talking about it and listening about it. It's time we get the thing settled and be done with it. And I appreciate your time, and I hope that you will take it into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, this is the public hearing regarding the solar ordinance. If you wish to speak, approach the podium and state your name and address for the record. Not seeing anyone else approaching the podium at this time. We'll close the public hearing portion regarding the solar ordinance. And this can be passed on the first reading. We don't have to suspend the rules, correct?
You, Mr. President, you should suspend the rules and adopt on first reading.
Okay. So is there a motion to suspend the rules to adopt on the first reading?
So moved.
I have a motion from Commissioner Stewart, a second from Commissioner Poling to suspend the rules to be able to adopt ordinance number 5 on the first reading. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 5, 2025.
So moved.
Second. I have a motion from Commissioner Poling, a second from Commissioner Stewart to approve ordinance number 5-2025, an ordinance of the Grant County Board of Commissioners amending solar energy standards in Grant County and repealing all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict therewithin. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll move on to the last item under new business. Item number 3, Dell Technology lease as well. I mean, it has a public hearing. Mr. Sullivan.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. And as you can imagine, it's probably the least interesting topic of the night to the general public, but it is still something important for Grant County and its employees. This is a public hearing for a lease for computer technologies, and I believe Marcus, your IT director, is here. He can say exactly what it is for, the length of the lease, and the dollar amount of the lease. But this is for mostly technology or computer technology, screens and some monitors and some other things. But one of the things that Mr. President, you and Commissioner Poling and Commissioner Stewart have asked is that we clean up certain things how Grant County conducts its business, and under Indiana code, when you enter into a lease, there needs to be a public hearing for that. So that is what that is here for tonight. I know Marcus has done an excellent job receiving bids from a few different vendors, and this has been discussed several times at commissioner meetings. But again, this is just the public hearing to hear it and to approve it, and then after that, it'll be ready for full execution. So, Mr. President, if Marcus is present, I would request he come up to the stand and comment on what Grant County is getting out of the lease technology-wise, and how long the lease will be, and what dollar amounts the items will be leased for.
Is Marcus online?
Yeah, he is.
Marcus, are you online?
He's on his way down. Good evening.
I wasn't sure if I was going to speak or not. So the goal of the lease is to just refresh the entire county computer fleet. So we put out an RFP and we got many bids, and we wound up deciding to go with Dell Technologies as the winner. And the current program is a 5-year lease, dollar buyout, and the dollar amounts, let me pull that up here real quick. I believe it's $109,000 and 320. Let me see. I apologize for not having all this stuff. I wasn't sure I'd be speaking this evening. Let me pull that up here.
Marcus, I believe it's $109,353.05 per year. Does that sound correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And Marcus, do you mind just briefly explaining to the commissioners and the public what the technology is that we'll be receiving? I know you said it's a refresh of the Grant County systems, but the computers, monitors, towers, what is it?
Yeah, so it's computers, towers, monitors, and laptops and tablet devices.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay,
Just so the public's aware that obviously a lot of our equipment's been at the end of the life.
Yes.
And so this is an opportunity to start over fresh. I don't think it's ever been done before this way.
No.
I think that, the commissioners have already heard a few different times at commissioner meetings, the importance of, having up-to-date equipment that you can work on. And this should last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
Right. Yeah. So
it is a total fleet change.
Yes, correct.
When I say fleet, it's every department, every computer.
Yes.
Will be updated.
Yep, that is correct.
So we're going to try to get things on a schedule.
Yep.
That way, moving forward, it's not, this department needs X amount of computers, that department, and pretty soon you don't know how your fleet looks, and
right.
So this is a fresh start. I think that obviously, I think the dollar buyout's good, and the interest rate was fairly good as well. And sorry for not informing you earlier.
No, that's all right.
Is that 109 figure, is that a year?
Yes, that's annually, and that would come out of my equipment budget.
Are you paying that monthly, or is it is it
No,
109?
So the way it was in the agreement was it was just one single annual, payment over 5 years.
5 years.
So we just it's kind of similar to the data center project and that, where we basically pay that once a year.
I could remember how you had that set up. But
Yeah.
Do you gentlemen have any other questions?
I do not know.
So at this time,
Thank you, Marcus.
thank you, Marcus. This time we can open it up for the public hearing piece. Should we read the fidelity letter or
Read what?
the sample letter, or
It's
how is that?
it's pretty vague.
It's vague.
Just say the same rules that have applied to the first public hearings apply for this one as well.
There's not like specific numbers or terms.
So we'll open up the public hearing portion regarding the lease with Dell Technologies. It's a 5-year lease. The dollar amount is $109,000. What was it, 350? 353.05.
Let me see if I pull that up again.
3 and 5 cents.
Okay, thank you. Okay, at this time, we'll conduct the public hearing portion. If you wish to speak, please approach the podium and clearly state your name and address for the record. Each speaker will have 2 minutes to share their comments. Please note that any unused time may not be transferred to another speaker. This is an opportunity for members of the public to express their thoughts to the board. Please don't expect the commissioners to respond to questions or engage in a discussion during this time. We are here to listen. Again, at this time, I'll open the podium for the public hearing. Not seeing anyone stepping forward, so at this time we'll close the public hearing. Oh, sorry, I haven't closed it yet.
Hi, Randy Atkins, 8560 South Wheeling Pike, Fairmount. I just want to thank you guys for looking at the needs of this county and the various offices that we have throughout this building, the courthouse, and every entity of Grant County government. You have been very busy in the last 5 months, and your efforts have been duly recognized by the citizens, taxpayers of Grant County, and I want to express my appreciation for that, for what you're doing. And I'm going to encourage the citizens of Grant County to continue to support these guys. It's not been an easy path for them. Change is never easy for any of us, and they are truly working to make things better, not only for county employees. They're spending our dollars wisely, and I don't know what else we could ask from them. Thank you guys, appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thanks, Randy.
Any other public comments regarding the Dell Technology lease? If not, I'll consider the public hearing closed. I'll entertain a motion, again, to suspend the rules to allow this to.
Mr. President, you don't have to suspend the rules here. You just need to approve the lease with Dell Technology.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. I'll entertain a motion to approve the lease with Dell Technologies.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Stewart, a second from Commissioner Poling to approve the execution of the lease with Dell Technologies. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do the attorneys have everything you need? Justin, you have
Yes, sir.
anything else?
We'll just continue to move forward with the validity opinion letter, specifically for Mr. Sullivan, fulfilled.
Thank you. Gentlemen, do you have anything else you'd have to add for good order?
I do not.
We'll be in recess.